Hey guys, Music Breakdown here, reviewing the new American Football LP, American Football LP2. So it's been 17 years since this band put out an album, and that was their only album, also titled American Football. And that album is one of the most seminal releases in emo music. Everybody loves that album, everybody thinks it's great, you know. And you can't deny the staying power of classic emo songs like Never Meant and Honestly. But if I'm to be honest, that album never really clicked with me. I mean, it's a good album and I cannot deny that. And like I mentioned, Never Meant and Honestly are incredible songs. I mean, there are some great musical moments in that LP, like the outro to Honestly and the groove of I'll See You When We're Both Not So Emotional. There's stuff on there I really do love, but it's never connected with me emotionally like it has with pretty much everybody else. I don't even find it to be sad. I don't find it... It doesn't really do much for me emotionally at all, to be honest. And something about the way his voice is mixed really quietly into the mix in that album, I don't know, just something about it, it just didn't click with me like it did for other people. I'm not dissing the album because it is very good, and of course it's been incredibly influential in the genre. I'm only really saying this because LP2 has been universally given the meh treatment from American football fans. Well, I shouldn't say universally, but definitely for the most part. And I was expecting to feel the same way. I mean, comeback albums of this sort don't end up very well. Just look at both Pixies albums. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and I doubt you want to hear this, but I think LP2 is better than LP1. Yes, I like this significantly more than American Football's debut. I don't want to say that, because I want to have all the true emos down my throat, and I'm sorry, I mean, you know, but I'm serious, I really do think this is better. Since it's probably what you would have preferred me to say, I'll start with the things that this album doesn't do as well as its predecessor. First off, there are no moments on this album that quite reach the heights of Never Meant or Honestly. I still think those are the best songs the band has made, and I doubt they're going to top it. And the vocals leave a lot to be desired. I didn't like the way they were mixed on LP1, but he was a better singer, he had a better emo voice. Here his voice is kind of nasally, but not really in any interesting or unique way. And also the vocals are mixed just maybe a little too loud. They're just a little too clean, and I don't think he's as emotive as he used to be. But that's it. Everything else about this album I think is better. The opener, Where Are We Now, is fantastic. I just love the soaring drum pattern that comes in on the choruses of this track. So great. Where I felt like LP1 was just kind of comfy for the most part, this album does a lot more sonically for me. The drums sound a little bit crisper than they used to. They are a bit clean, but not at the expense of their impact. And actually, this album does have a lot in common with LP1. For example, the track Born to Lose sounds like it came straight off that album, just with new production. That hard to predict and kind of off-kilter, odd time signature drum pattern is very reminiscent of tracks on LP1. Lyrically, I think this album is superior as well. While there are a few clunky lyrics like I Can't Believe My Life Is Happening to Me and a few other corny ones, I feel like the songs in this album feel more coherent on LP1. One of the reasons that album never did quite click with me is because the songs feel much more like just spur-of-the-moment jams with barely any lyrical content and hardly really a song to follow. But here it's much more lyrically cohesive. I love lyrics like, these wounds won't lick themselves, so it's a good thing you're not alone. And also, the best way to describe the ocean to a blind man is to push him in. Jeez. Some really great lines. I don't think LP1 really had any of those. The guitar sounds a lot more clean on this album than it did on LP1, and I could see that turning a lot of people off, and honestly, that would usually turn me off. But there's something about the guitar in this album that I just find really beautiful and striking. It's got that really cliched twang that you expect from bands pulling from American Football's original LP. But God, I mean, you leave it to the original band to do it the best, and they really do. It just sounds wonderful. On the track Desire Gets in the Way, the band picks up the pace a lot more, and I like to hear that because the first LP had this sort of variety as well, and I feel like this album really is rekindling that, honestly. Also, this track has a really great hook and a really great guitar line. So look, I'm not gonna pretend like I don't understand why people aren't impressed with this album. If you love LP1, I think it's fair to say you're probably not going to love this nearly as much. And if that's the sound you're looking for out of these guys, then yes, the added cleanness here is definitely gonna turn you off. I mean, usually that's the sort of thing I criticize, but I think American Football do it so well on this album. And honestly, I can't remember all my teenage feelings. And honestly, I think this album is great. 8.5 out of 10.
Home is where the haunted, those wounds won't lick themselves. It's a good thing.